contact tracing is the big story of the week, right? Are we going to track you in some way or another and figure out how many people have this illness? You know, this is really scary stuff. It's scaring a lot of us citizens, thinking, where is our government at on this? Well, I want to talk to someone in our government that I think is just as freaked out about this as I am and wants to do something about it. Of course, I'm talking about Assemblyman Jamal Holly, coming to us from New Jersey. Jamal, how you doing?
I'm good, big brother Dell. How are you?
I'm doing really good, man. You got involved in an article. You're saying you want hearings when it comes to contact tracing. Why? Why is it bothering you?
I mean, because I have a great concern on how someone's medical information is going to be shared across applications that individuals from Google and Microsoft has access to. And quite frankly, all of this is being done under executive orders limiting major public participation, public hearings, no conversations with elected officials such as myself who serve on the health committee and as vice chair of Homeland Security. None of this is being discussed, and it's all being done under executive orders. And I think that if we're going to be providing medical information to anyone, that the public has a right to have their say in this, and the public has a right to appear in public to voice their concerns or if they support it or not. And none of this is being done. And I have a concern about privacy. I have a concern about constitutional rights. And quite frankly, I don't think medical information should be out in just cyberspace. I mean, look how many times we hear story after story on credit card data and its information being breached. I mean, now our medical information could have the potential of being breached. This is a very serious concern for me, and I'm going to be fighting this tooth and nail until someone hears me and tries to stop this until we can get some answers on it.
I mean, it seems to me this is almost like we're almost all getting an ankle bracelet as though we were being jailed at home to track us everywhere we go, to track who we're talking to see. I mean, why would free citizens agree with this? What possible benefit? And the idea that we're seeing articles coming out from Apple and Android saying they're essentially going to attempt to just install this into our phones without us even knowing about it, if they can get away with it. I mean, apparently now, if you just take an upgrade, you're ready to upgrade your iPhone, you do it, and now you are being contact traced by essentially, I guess, the government of the United States, but it's going through Google, it's going through these giant data collecting server empires, but they're telling us, oh, don't worry, we're not looking at it. No, be as you are, it's passing through, but we're all wearing blindfolds. Does anybody believe that?
I don't think so. I think people are awoke. I think people are paying much more attention to this issue more than ever. Everyone's home now, and they're glued into their TVs and shows like you who are speaking the truth. And, you know, the further concern I have with this contact tracing is, when does it stop? I mean, Is there an expiration date? I mean, what goes next? I mean, these companies that do contact tracing, I mean, they're in it for a reason. They're in it to make money. Businesses incorporate themselves to make money. So what is the beneficial and monetary value of someone's contact tracing medical information on? What is it?
I mean,
and that's the question, and that's what I want to get to the bottom of.
And it seems opportunistic, doesn't it? I mean, it seems it doesn't matter what the death rate of this ends up being. It's getting lower and lower and lower as we see all the data coming in. But still, they're just going to go in and install all of these monitoring systems for us, you know, as though Ebola swept the country, or, you know, we have, you know, 1 million escaped inmates running around and we're going to have to track where they are. You know, my question, I think, is, you know, you work in government. You're an assemblyman in New Jersey. Are you alone? Or, I mean, should we be worried? Are other politicians, people, you know, that you work with, your peers, are there questions happening in our capitals? Are there people that are saying, you know, this does seem drastic, or are you all alone?
I'm all alone again. And just like I was on the segregated amendment as it relates to vaccinations when they were trying to segregate our kids in public schools versus private schools, I'm alone again on this issue, but that's okay because at the end of the day, my goal is to ensure that people's rights and liberties and constitutional and privacy rights are protected. That's what lawmakers are supposed to do, abide by the Constitution. And so while I may be the only one in New Jersey, I'm spreading the alarm and sounding the alarm to other legislatures across this country that have individuals who want to use executive order powers to supersede public's voice and public's concern. I think the public has a right to voice their opinion on this, whether they agree or disagree with it or not. But as an elected official who has to vote on a lot of other issues and protect people's privacy and rights, I think I have a right, and I'm elected to ask questions at the end of the day. And that's what I'm asking. I'm asking questions. And I want public hearings where the public has a right to come out. And we want scientists, and we want data professionals, we want health professionals, we want individuals who are in this field to come and speak to us on how actually this is going to work. And until then, it's going to be an unknown. It remains an unknown until we can have these types of hearings and have a broader discussion as opposed to having these executive orders written every single day upon the weeks. And our rights are being invalidated every single time.
You know, I want to say, for people that don't know you, you've been on the high wire before. I stood with you in New Jersey, where you simply really stood up for a person's right to choose what's injected into them. I wouldn't say that you're anti-vaccine, you're not against things, but you are into choice, into human rights. We know, we've seen throughout time that things can be injected into people of different races, of different creeds, that maybe wasn't something they wanted in their bodies. We can never give governments the power to override your own choice. But I want to tell you, and the thing that I have hope on with this, and you're probably already thinking this, but unlike the vaccine issue that really did seem to have this consensus in science, and at least they said they did, and all the politicians could get behind it, right now, as we just saw in the Senate hearing I showed, and as we're looking around the world, there's no consensus on this. In fact, it seems like the majority of scientists around the world are saying these draconian measures not only don't work, they're dangerous. They're lowering our immune systems. We're not getting in touch with the microbes in the biome that's out there in the world. When we come out, someone's going to have to get this. The vaccine won't be here in time. All the suicides and the death from starvation. And, certainly you've got to be hearing that from your constituents. How are people going to survive without jobs in this country? So I think of all the issues, what is the most shocking to me is that you're saying you're still all alone when really everybody else you're working with, all of your peers at the Capitol, are alone with about 2 or 3 scientists running our country against hundreds, if not thousands, of scientists that disagree with them around the world. Do you feel emboldened by that at least a little bit?
I mean, I feel empowered by the people that elect me at the end of the day. They elect me to look out for them. So whether there are other elected officials that want to stand on the forefront with me or not, at the end of the day, I have a constituency that I have to adhere to. And it is my job to make sure that I continue to look out for them. And when I see their constitutional rights threatened, or if I see their privacy rights threatened, they may not be paying attention, but I am. That's the role that they elected me to play, and I'm going to continue to do that. So whether I'm alone, if others join me, and I hope they will, whether it's other state legislatures across this country that would like to join me, and I invite them to, that at the end of the day, we have an obligation to protect the people. And this contact tracing is just yet another level of rights that are being stripped from them day by day. And I'm going to continue to voice my opinion and voice my concerns on as it is relative to the people who represent me.
All right. Well, look, I really want to appreciate you for taking time in your day to join us. I do really appreciate that you continuously prove to us at the High Wire and those around the country that know who you are standing up for the people at a time where so few are. I wish we could clone you, but I guess that would probably have its own rights issues too. So until then, I think we're just going to have to start electing more people that talk about really the principles this nation was founded upon. It was about freedom. It was about the right to privacy.
I can't wait till this is all over so we can get back out there to join the people to protect their rights and protect their constitutional rights. I'm looking forward to when this is all said and done. But in the meantime, I'm going to be working from home and working from the offices where I can, and continue to raise the issues as they come.
Thank you for being you, Jamel Holly, Assemblyman in New Jersey. You take care. If you liked that clip, then be sure to check out our live broadcast of The High Wire every Thursday morning at 11 a.m. Pacific Time. You can watch it on Facebook, YouTube, iTunes, and Twitter. We'll see you there.